Welcome back to part 2. Now in just a bit I'm going to be learning some more about boat building. But first, summer is finally just around the corner and it's time to think about holidays. Let's go and meet the guys at Boating Holiday Rentals to find out what your options are.
Boating Holiday Rentals has been going for about 4 years, but the boating company itself has been going for about 16.
Right, okay. And what kind of boats have you got that people can hire?
We've got a fleet of cruisers out of Windsor Marina.
Lovely.
We've also got a fleet of narrowboats operating out of Mercia Marina, which is in Derbyshire.
The boats range from approximately 56 foot long up to 64 foot, starting from the 4 berth, 6 berth and up to the 8 berth, with 3 separate cabins on the 8 berth. Cruiser stern decks, so there's plenty of outside space for people to walk around, full size fridges, full gas central heating for out of season cruising. It's plenty warm enough, fantastic times, plenty of sort of space outside on the bow to sit. They're just great boats, they really are.
And we've also got the yachts, which are in Turkey.
Shame we're not on them today. Bit of heat wouldn't go amiss, I have to say. So where are we today? Take us through your site.
We're
here.
at Windsor Marina.
Yeah, and we're on one of your wonderful cruises.
We are. We're on a Sleep 4.
So what are the different berth types that you've got?
Operating out of Windsor, we've got a 2 berth. We've got quite a few 4 berths, and we've got a few 6 berths.
And take us through roughly what people would expect sort of the layout to be like and the equipment that you can provide on them and things.
Well, we can provide everything that you would expect to find at home, just
really?
On a smaller scale.
Home from home,
so,
then?
Yeah, we've got a lounge, we've got the cabins, we've got a little ensuite, and the kitchen. The kitchen has everything you could possibly need, but
yeah.
Again, just on a smaller scale.
Yeah, wonderful. So
home from home.
Glass of wine, cruising
along.
Oh
yes.
Yeah, that's what we like.
Regarding how far our guests can travel, that really is down to their choice of what they want to do on their holiday. Bear in mind you do have to come back to the base. So it's generally, you get halfway through the week or the 2 weeks, you return back. From Windsor, for a good example, from Windsor Marina to Oxford and back, you can do it in a week. It's still a comfortable trip. For 2 weeks, you can take your time, stop at more pubs, more things to see. On the narrowboats, you can go sort of Stoke-on-Trent, that area. But as I say, it's personally really down to the people that are on the boats, what they want to do. Some people don't travel very far, they just enjoy stopping at every pub and having a good time. Other ones just want to cruise dusk till dawn.
And what if someone's sort of never been on a boat before? Does that matter? What skills do they need?
They don't need any skills whatsoever. We've got a fantastic team of people that would give them one-to-one tuition when they arrive.
Brilliant.
So that is done at a speed to suit the person. So if they're having trouble with something, our staff can run over that point again. But you will not leave the marina until you feel 100% confident that you're going to manage the boat. Because at the end of the day, it's your holiday.
Yeah.
So we want you to have a really, really good time.
Yeah, you need to be confident enough to relax and enjoy it. Yeah.
Yes.
And so does that go through things like locks that they have to go through? And
it goes through locks, it goes through all the safety procedures, how to do the steering, everything.
Yeah, everybody manages to get a grasp of how to control the boats. Even on the river, you know, there's only a very, very slight flow of water. We don't go tidal because we don't go below Teddington. Teddington lock's the lowest you can go on the Thames. And as I say, Oxford you can go up as far as you like, depending on the time and how long you've got on the boat.
I'm hugely relaxed here to the extent that I could fall asleep. So what are the reasons that people would come on a boat holiday and a cruiser in particular?
Because it is probably one of the best holidays you will ever have. It's unique.
Yes,
it is just unique. You've got the freedom of the river, you can come and go as you please, you can moor up where you want. If you find something of interest, just moor up, bob out, have a little look. When
all our guests arrive to any of our resort areas, they're greeted, they're brought into the offices, we check them in, we give them all the safety talks, we provide them with life jackets, we recommend various different places they can go, amenities they can see, the pubs, etc. And they're taken on their boat, they're given a full instruction on exactly everything on the boat regarding the switches, lights, etc. They're then taken actually out on the river or the canal and given full operational instruction on the boat. So once they leave us, they're fully competent to have a very safe and enjoyable time.
Welcome to our first boating news roundup. Now we're no news station, but we're going to try and do some of the legwork for you by compiling some of the most important and interesting stories from the world of British boating. Everybody knows how important it is to preserve the flora and fauna that make Britain's rivers and canals so unique. Polecats are among the rarer inhabitants of Britain's countryside, having been hunted to near extinction by fur trappers in the early 1900s. Luckily, these nocturnal predators seem to be making a comeback, having been spotted using the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal as a watery superhighway. Well, that's what canals were intended for, I suppose. In more regal news, Princess Anne was in Stroud last week to officially open the new Stroud Brewery Bridge and the refurbished Upper Woolbridge Lock. You may recall us visiting the Cotswold Canals Trust last year. A very well done to them for completing this excellent restoration project, which has won royal approval. Next, to Appleton in Oxfordshire, where the Environment Agency plans to replace the North Moor Weir, one of the last remaining paddle and reimer weirs in the country. Officials insist the 115-year-old structure must be replaced on health and safety grounds with a modern motorised weir. Local residents disagree, arguing the current weir remains fit for purpose, is of great historical value, and at an expected cost of £2.5 million is an unnecessary expenditure. And work is due to commence in March. Now, last episode I dipped my toes into the wonderful world of traditional Thames boat building. It gave me the buzz, so I'm keen to find out a little bit more. Join me now as we visit Stanley and Thomas Boat Builders to have another go. So I'm back here with Mark, and this time I'm going to find out about the boat building and restoration side of things. Mark, what have we got going on behind us?
This is a repair to a cruiser off the Thames. It's
Right.
a Royal cruiser, a Swedish boat built by Storbro, quite a famous make. This is an indication of how some work can get much bigger. This was a small repair, and the repair just grew and grew because of the rot was not seen. It was underneath the deck.
So it came in because they could see a little bit of rot and just wanted that fixing.
And we've ended up with, as you can see, new cabin sides and a new deck.
So wherever I can see the bare wood, that's just had to be new.
Well, some of it's new, some of it's old, but we joined the bits of timber together, glue them together, and you know, you end up with what you hope is as good as new.
So when she came in, how long did you think it was going to take?
I estimated probably a couple of months, but it'll be more like 4-5 months really.
Until she's finished and can get back out there again. Okay.
Yeah.
What else have you got going on in the workshop in these areas at the moment?
Well, we'd have to go through into the other
way.
workshop. This is a lovely old Gibbs launch.
She does look like she was in her heyday. She was lovely.
Yeah, she was a beautiful boat. And as you can see, you know, it's got to the point now where she needs a major restoration. Yeah. This boat will probably take at least a year to restore to her former glory. And will you keep as much of her old hull as you can and things? Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Fantastic. So she's literally back to basics and
back to
rebuild.
Basics. What we'll do is we'll reframe the whole boat, and then we can turn her over once she's nice and solid, and replank the boat. And then turn her back and steam all the timbers into the boat, and then the hull will be correct, and then we just redeck the boat and fit her out.
So will you take any boat in, or are there certain types that you work
Anything.
on?
We've had boats in that just look like firewood really, and 2 years later they come out and they look wonderful.
So Mark, what have we got going on with this boat, and what is she?
This boat is another Royal cruiser. It's shorter than the other one, but we just happen to be working on two at the moment.
Yeah.
We're putting a new wheelhouse on this boat, which is quite intricate joinery. This is a Thames racing skiff.
Right.
There are 5 clubs on the river that race these boats every week during the summer.
Right.
It's a very, very old Thames sport, and these are 2 new boats that we've built, one here and one in the other workshop. Yeah. And Mark is just finishing off the finer details, and the boats are being picked up in a couple of weeks' time and going to be sculled down the river to the club. Fantastic.
So old boats, new boats, even for old traditions?
New boats, but exactly on the same lines as the ones that were built in 1900.
Wonderful. Now, I think you very kindly said that you might give me a go at something to continue to add to my skill set. So varnishing, I think it was. Perhaps we can head that way and you can teach me.
Fine, okay.
So you're doing a bit of varnishing here, Mark.
Yes.
Can I have a go? Show me what to do first.
Well, what we do is we put the varnish on.
Yeah.
Making sure there's plenty of varnish on.
Right.
And then what you need to do then is to carefully go across
with
the brush. Okay.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is making sure that the varnish is evenly spread
Right.
over the whole of the work.
So you don't get lumpy bumpy
And then
bits.
just very, very lightly brush out the varnish, what we call brushing out, and with the grain, and then you move on to the next bit.
All right then.
Okay.
You better talk me through it again as I do it.
Okay,
So, lots of varnish
I'll
first.
put some varnish
Yeah,
on the brush.
Lovely.
Okay, now you take the
So
brush.
I'm just brushing it.
Just brush it out along the grain. Make sure you've got the whole of the
all of
area
that
covered.
bit. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Fantastic.
good. Now go
Okay.
across.
Across like that.
Yeah.
Yes, you can see the strokes then.
Yes,
can't
you can. Yeah, you can see the lines in the varnish.
And that's what we want to get rid of next.
And then that gets it nice and even.
Yeah.
And then very lightly go
Just
along the
streak it
grain.
down.
That's it. Lovely.
Fantastic. Gosh, very satisfying.
Yeah. Well,
Lovely.
you've got the rest of the boat now.
Yeah, put me to work. Fantastic. Thank you for that. That's
Okay,
great.
No problem.
Wow, we've covered so many things today and I'm learning more and more as these episodes go on. Tune in next time, you never know what might happen.
It's that time in the show you've all been waiting for, the competition. This time, thanks to our friends at Canal Warehouse, we have 2 complete sets of Pearson Canal companion books to give away. With 9 books in each set and the contents covering the entire country, you'll have all the knowledge you need on the nation's waterways. So don't miss this incredible opportunity. Enter online now. Simply visit uk-boating.tv. Entries must be received by midnight on Sunday, March the 11th.
Well, that's all we've got time for in today's episode. I don't know about you, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've been on a cruise, I've been welcomed at the marina, and I'm a fully qualified boat builder. If you want to catch any of our previous episodes, have a look online and do keep in touch on Facebook and Twitter. Looking forward to seeing you again next time.